In the shadowed crevices of our shared past, in the twilight between the known and the unknown, there lies a realm where the extraordinary masquerades as the mundane. This ethereal realm, adorned in velvety darkness, is home to those most elusive of phantoms, where stories shape-shift between the centuries, flutter on the breath of a whisper, a fleeting dream, or a chill running down one's spine. Good evening, my weary travelers. My name is Mr. Rook. I am your guide in these enigmatic hallowed halls, where we shall illuminate the obscure and whisper life into the forgotten. Here, myth and superstition take center stage, where legends and folk tales from lands both near and far come to whisper their truths. Join me as we pull back the veil of this mundane world to reveal the magic that lies just beneath the surface of our everyday lives and peer into the heart of the arcane. Welcome, dear friends, to SkaryTales. Mirror, mirror on the wall, the utterance of this phrase conjures an incredible sense of magic, of secret worlds behind the glass, worlds we can almost touch but never fully grasp. Throughout history's vast expanse, mirrors have played their part in dance. A waltz between the real and illusory, between fact and fable, mirrors have etched stories of both joy and sorrow. In the realm of fairy tales, perhaps none is more closely tied to the mystique of mirrors than Snow White. The enchanted looking glass in this age-old story serves as both oracle and instigator, an object imbued with the power to incite vanity and propel a journey fraught with peril and self-discovery. Its incantations echo not just in the halls of the Wicked Queen's castle, but reverberate through time, reminding us of the enduring entanglement between human desires and their reflections. Just like in other narratives, the mirror here serves as a dualistic entity, revealing truth and illusion in a single breath. In this luminous portal, we've sought truth, confronted our fears, and dared to dream. And at times, what gazed back was not always as it seemed. Welcome, my dear friends. From age-old beliefs to the romantic tales of Alice's adventures, tonight we shall journey through the looking glass, tracing the history and mysteries of these silvered panes. Across a myriad of cultures, reflections have been considered extensions of the soul and windows into alternate dimensions. And while breaking a mirror is believed to invite misfortune, what might one summon by staring too long into its depths? Tonight, we'll embark on another unsettling journey through the annals of history, myth, and, of course, the eerie corners of the human psyche. So sit back and let us reflect on what mysteries might await us. This is SkaryTales, and our tale begins now. Mirror, mirror, what once was whole now lies broken. What we see before us is not merely a piece of broken glass. In the annals of superstition, the breaking of a mirror heralds a storm of misfortune. The fear of shattered glass takes us on a journey back to ancient Rome. It was the Romans who gave birth to the belief that a broken mirror heralds 7 tumultuous years. Their understanding, life in its vast complexity renews itself every 7 years. Damage one's reflection, and you harm the very essence of their soul. 7 years then to heal that wounded spirit. But the belief runs deeper, rooted in a myriad of cultures and tales. Throughout history, from the windswept moors of England to the ancient temples of China, our reflection has been more than a mere image. It was the soul's twin, a tether to the otherworldly. The Maori people believed that to view oneself in a mirror in the moonlight was to invite death. In still other cultures, a newborn and its mother were to avoid reflections, lest malicious spirits snatch the child's soul. To shatter a mirror was to fragment the soul, to tear the veil between realms. Such an act could unleash misfortunes or even trap one's soul in the netherworld, unable to find its way back. Why such fear? Perhaps it's our innate human dread of brokenness, the splintering of wholeness and unity. We, after all, seek completion, unity, and wholeness in life. But remember this, dear friends, while the mirror may crack and fragment, Our understanding and respect for such superstitions show the unbroken continuum of human beliefs and the tales we pass from one generation to the next. Ah yes, but superstitions evolve, and over time, many have dismissed this as mere folklore. Nevertheless, it's intriguing how our current understanding of biology might inadvertently echo these ancient beliefs. For as science tells us, the vast majority of the cells in your body are replaced every 7 years, a lovely dance of death and renewal, at least at the cellular level. And while the Romans could not have known this, it's a charming wink from the universe, don't you think? Mirrors have long held such mystique, a certain allure that's far more than mere vanity. In ancient times, the reflective surface was thought to be not just a tool, but a potent instrument of divination and magic. In ancient Egypt, mirrors were made of polished bronze or copper, and treasured not just for their practical utility, but also for their symbolic meaning. They were linked to Hathor, the goddess of love, motherhood, and music. It was believed that gazing into a mirror could invite Hathor's favor, or perhaps even a glimpse into her heavenly domain. Then there was the Greco-Roman world. Narcissus, a young man of extraordinary beauty, became so entranced by his own reflection in a pool of water that he fell in and drowned. His tragic end birthed the term narcissism, but more importantly it underlined the ancient belief that our reflections could either be a boon or a curse. And who could forget the daring Perseus? Empowered by the goddess Athena's glistening shield, he employed it as an impromptu mirror in order to glimpse the petrifying Medusa. As legend tells, the reflective surface enabled Perseus to evade her stone-turning gaze before vanquishing her. Although not made of glass or silver, it remains a tool of clever manipulation against supernatural forces. Mirrors were not just confined to the Mediterranean, however. In Mesoamerica, polished obsidian mirrors were used by the ancient Aztecs for scrying and prophecy. These black mirrors were said to reveal the future, and were used in rituals by high priests to commune with deities or even speak with the spirits of the departed. The power of reflection wasn't lost on the Far East either. In ancient China, bronze mirrors were often inscribed with magical symbols and talismans, thought to protect the user from evil spirits. These reflective surfaces were more than just everyday household items. They were shields against the unseen. So you see, from one corner of the ancient world to the other, mirrors were much more than mere looking glasses. They were windows to other realms, conduits of divine power, and sometimes a reflection of our own fate. As we journey further down the corridors of time, mirrors do not escape the gripping influence of the medieval period, a time punctuated by both fear and fascination with the unknown. Imagine, if you will, being in a dimly lit room, a single candle flickering in the draught, casting grotesque shapes on the walls. Here, mirrors took on new, more ominous roles, graduating from mere objects of personal vanity or ritual to tools of, shall we say, the darker arts. Vampires, Nosferatu, those undead creatures of the night whose nefarious existence could only be unmasked by their absence in mirrors, have plagued mankind's nightmares for millennia. Without a soul to reflect, these fiends remain invisible upon mirrored surfaces, confirming the age-old belief that a mirror could reveal the true nature of an entity. Of course, these were no ordinary mirrors, but ones made of polished silver, believed to have intrinsic purifying qualities. Then, there's the infamous tale of Bloody Mary, a parlor game for some, a lesson in the limits of human curiosity for others. A seemingly innocent incantation whispered in front of a mirror opens the door to a realm of unimaginable horror. In particular, the tale of Bloody Mary merits further scrutiny. Ah, yes, Bloody Mary, a name that for centuries has been whispered in the darkest corners of taverns and around midnight fires across the world. Would you believe that this tale has various incarnations and interpretations? Some trace the legend back to the historical figure Queen Mary I of England, also known as Bloody Mary, due to her violent persecution of Protestants. In this version, the spectral queen appears to foretell death or disaster for those daring enough to summon her. Others connect the legend to Mary Worth, a supposed witch who lived in the American colonies. She was believed to have been caught practicing dark magic and was executed, but not before cursing her accusers and vowing to return. To this day, some claim to have seen her terrifying visage in the mirror after uttering her name 3 times. Regardless of the variant, the ritual remains largely consistent. Stand in a dimly lit room, face a mirror and chant Bloody Mary 3 times, but beware, for the consequences may be too horrific to bear. The Bloody Mary legend captures the essence of the human condition, as our thirst for knowledge wrestles with our innate fear of the unknown, and it serves as a grim reminder. Mirrors might reflect more than we're prepared to see. In the throes of the Romantic era, mankind's fascination with mirrors took a turn towards the introspective and fantastical. A time of emotion and imagination, the period was ripe with tales that blurred the lines between the mundane and the extraordinary. Mirrors were no longer just reflective surfaces. They were windows into the unknown, a place where one's deepest fears and desires could take form. The works of Edgar Allan Poe and other Gothic literature often portrayed mirrors as conduits to other worlds, especially in tales like The Oval Portrait, where the boundary between art, reflection, and reality is blurred. And who can forget the other indelible contributions from literature? In Lewis Carroll's Through the Looking Glass, Alice's journey into a parallel world serves as a literary embodiment of mirrors as gateways to alternate realities. Her adventures across the chessboard landscape reflect our age-old fascination with mirrors as portals. Another riveting tale is Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray. In this masterpiece, though it is a portrait rather than a mirror, the painting serves a similar role, capturing not just Dorian's visage but his very soul. It bears the weight of his sins, allowing him to remain youthful while the image ages and decays. The story taps into the age-old belief that mirrors and reflections can be tied to our spiritual essence. The notion of the doppelganger, or evil twin, became particularly haunting in this period. It was said that catching a glimpse of your own double in a mirror was an omen of death. This was chillingly articulated in the works of Fyodor Dostoevsky, such as The Double, where a man meets his sinister duplicate and spirals into madness. Poets of the time, including Andrew Marvell, employed mirrors as poignant metaphors to muse on the evanescence of youth and the relentless passage of time. "But at my back I always hear time's winged chariot hurrying near," wrote Marvell, capturing the essence of temporal anxiety. The mirror thus evolved into more than a mere physical object. It became a complex metaphorical construct that reflected the anxieties and aspirations of a generation. On a more solemn note, in a time of death, mirrors were often shrouded in heavy cloth or turned to face the wall, particularly during the Victorian era. It was widely believed that the soul of the deceased could become trapped in the reflective glass, unable to transition to the afterlife. Others believed that catching a glimpse of oneself in a mirror during the mourning period could result in being haunted by the deceased's soul, or even facing an untimely death. While this practice has largely faded, the superstition remains a fascinating testament to the mysterious power mirrors hold over our collective imagination. Today we have the enigma of self-perception in the modern era. Have you ever stared into a mirror and felt as if the person staring back was a stranger? Perhaps an uncanny feeling, as if your reflection didn't quite match reality? In recent years, mirrors have transcended their traditional roles and have been adopted as metaphors in popular culture. Films like Black Swan and Mulholland Drive explore the notions of duality and self-discovery, while in others, like Fight Club, the mirror becomes a symbol of self-destruction. The mirror in these stories is both a revealer and a concealer, a place where the line between the inner self and the outer world becomes blurred. Then there's the mirror of Erist in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, a magical mirror that shows not your face but your deepest, most desperate desire. a cautionary tale about the dangers of becoming consumed by our own reflections, aspirations, and illusions, if ever there was. And what about the modern obsession with selfies, the hours spent gazing at our digital reflections on cell phone screens? In a way, this serves as a digital evolution of Narcissus, so enamored with his own reflection that he couldn't engage with the world around him. It serves as a sobering reminder to look up from our screens and engage with the life unfolding before our eyes. Mirrors are more than mere glass and reflections. They are tools for introspection, vehicles for self-exploration, and sometimes instruments of our own self-destruction. They are as vast and complex as the humans who gaze into them. In the stillness of the night, as our minds wander through the annals of history, superstitions, and myths we've discussed, it's crucial to remember, mirrors are not just relics of dread. No, they are far more. They're illuminating panes that reflect our dreams, ambitions, and the very essence of human potential. Indeed, mirrors do capture more than just our physical likeness. They hold the power to show us who we could be, who we should be, if only we dare to confront and accept our true selves. As much as they've been vilified, scorned, and feared through the ages, they also serve as indispensable tools for personal growth. Remember, when you peer into a mirror, you're not just looking at your reflection, you're gazing into the eyes of your own potential. And it is through that potential that we can truly grow and just perhaps discover a little magic within ourselves. My dear friends, our tale for this evening has concluded, but our journey does not end here. Visit us again soon. Here in our little corner of the ether we shall unravel another tale, a story imbued with fear, superstition, and perhaps the occasional sprinkle of fairy dust. We hope you enjoyed tonight's story. Join us again as we delve into the pages of history, folklore, and some things that make us wonder, and perhaps others that make us shudder. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to SkaryTales. Together we'll explore the shadows and the light of the world's most enchanting and terrifying tales. Until next time, my dear friends, remember that every tale hides a truth, and every truth hides a tale. Sleep well and good night.